So I've just installed these Chinese fog lights on my GL1800. They plug in here, and although this is a UK spec bike, it still has the fog light connectors down underneath the front of the engine. So that was fairly straightforward, that bit. Here's the other side. I've yet to pull through the running lights and indicator wires. By the way, if you're installing these on a UK spec bike, you'll have to create a separate feed for the running lights, because the American spec has a twin filament bulb in the indicators which show as position lights and indicators. The UK spec does not have that, so you have to find your own feed for that. I've tapped into the pilot lights inside the headlights or side lights, whatever you like to call them, so hopefully that works. I'll show you the connection in a minute. So here is the mini loom which supplies the front side lights or pilot lights or marker lights, whatever you like to call them. You can see that they've come out. Now this is a UK spec bike, and it has to have those lights, although they don't really do much, because when you're riding the lights are on all the time, the headlights are on. But what I've done is I've put in a connector, just tap that into the feed. Just a note to say that the ground connection is done through the main wiring loom for the fog light, so you don't need to worry. Just the one positive feed, that's all you need. Okay. Now here's the new switch. There is a blanking plate which has to be removed, and you have to take the back off of the control panel. This is the audio and radio control panel on the left, and the fog light switch just sits in there in the bottom. It looks okay. The switch could possibly be more positive. Certainly the hazard warning switch is the spring's a lot stronger, but we'll see how it lasts. It'll probably burn out within the first few weeks, probably, to my irritation, but never mind. So this is the connector from the switch coming out of the back of the panel, as I've just shown you. This is the 3-pin connector which the switch connects to. Now it took me about 3 hours to find this. It was hidden away inside this transparent boot here, which is just behind the left-hand radiator, down really down low inside the fairing. It's about where your knee is. Took me a while to find it. I did it by tracing the wire, because it's a brown wire with a blue stripe which goes to the fog lights. So anyway, it's here. You just see it. Oops. So anyway, I'm pleased with that so far. I just need to put everything back together and connect it up, and hopefully it will all work. Now, I didn't like to do it, but there was no way you could get the connector out through the top of the boot, so I did have to slice it to get it through. It's a very short wire as well. Doesn't look good. I also did slice some other parts of the wiring loom cover just to see if I could trace the cable, but anyway, I did. I found it. Now the kit does include some various other electrical connections. This is part of the loom that goes underneath the switch. I'm not sure if I'll need it, because it's really intended for a relay. If you can see this loop here, That's just a bypass, but if you take that out, they do supply a relay which goes in there, which is supposed to deactivate the fog lights when you switch on your headlight, your main beam headlight. Now, because the UK spec connections don't include a headlight feed wire, which I think is the blue one, might be wrong, it's worthless, totally worthless. But if you live in the States and you live in a state where you can't have the fog lights on at the same time as the main beam headlights, then it is quite useful. You just plug it in. It sits between the switch and the bike loom. So there you are. So to summarise, really, it's quite a difficult job. It's taking me over 3 days, obviously not 3 whole days, but it's taken me a few hours to solder up all the connections, make the new feeds for the position lights. Quite a task, really. These are the instructions for the GL1800 RFL fog light kit. What can I say? Instructions are fairly useless, really. The mechanical instructions of actually fitting the lights was fairly clear, but the electrical instructions were hopeless. I would say possibly don't expect any help from the instructions if you've got a UK spec bike. To be fair, there is a get out clause. It does say that if your bike's not a US spec motorcycle, the wiring might be different. So there you are, no surprise there. Still, good luck. If you do try it, let me know how you get on.